All right, so the second thing I want to talk about is when you're doing an internship, it's very, very important to actively communicate with your mentor. Otherwise, you might think you're doing a good job, but your mentor's like, no, he or she should actually be doing that, you know? And like at the midpoint, you're suddenly very surprised, like, what? I thought I was doing a good job, you know? So actively communicate with your mentor. Like the first week, ask them what they expect from you. I remember like every first week, maybe even the second day of my internship, I just asked if I could have a one-on-one, get to know the mentor and tell them more about me and what I'm looking for, and just ask them, what are you looking for? What would I have to do in order for you to think that this was a successful internship? Because at the end of the day, I feel like most mentors want their interns to do well, and if you give them the chance to give you a blueprint of how to succeed, it's more likely that you will succeed. And I think this talk can be like a really good way of setting expectations and keeping a record. Like, let's say you think you're doing a good job, and towards the end of your internship, your mentor's like, hey, this needs improvement, or you're not doing too well. You can say, wait, but like, during our meeting, like during the first week, this is what you said was successful, and this is why I think that my internship was successful. Like, yeah, and then you can have like a conversation from there. Another thing is tell them ahead of time if you have any dates or events coming up. You don't want to say the day before, oh, by the way, I'm going to like vacation for a week. I'll see you like next week. That's like not active communication. You want to tell your mentor, oh, in a month, I'm planning to go on this trip with my family. Is that okay? Or next week I have an interview in NorCal, so I'm wondering if I could take the day off. Normally, mentors sort of understand that if you're like during interview season that you will be interviewing, and my mentor even told me like good luck. So yeah, mentors are very understanding if you give them enough time for like a heads up. And what I also like to do is say, hey, I'm going to be missing like this amount of days, but I don't want to fall behind, so I'll definitely make up those hours like either over the weekend, or I'll say like a little bit after work, you know, like I want to still get the job done even though I'm missing days. Yeah. Also, try to have a one-on-one every week. I think it's standard that most companies would have like a midterm review and a final review, like middle of internship review and end of internship review. But it's better to course correct earlier than later, right? So if you can meet every week and just have a quick update on your progress, your worries, your concerns, and their worries and their concerns, you shouldn't be surprised at the end of your internship if you get or don't get your return offer. Yeah, so that sort of wraps up active communication. It's very important, and active communication leads to no surprises, basically. So moving away from active communication with your mentor, it's also very helpful and very encouraged for you to get to know your team, right? Some internships I sort of just stuck with getting to know my mentor and my manager. And I realized that you should get to know people on your team that aren't your mentor and manager, even if you won't be really working with them. Basically, the first reason why is that when it's time to review your internship, at the end of your internship, most of the time it's not just your mentor and manager's feedback. I know at Google, I also had to have like a second reviewer. So basically I needed like 2 opinions. So if you have good relations with other people on your team, then they can fight for you, they can vie for you, you know? And just overall, it also leads to like a better working environment. On top of that, getting to know your team would also give you a better perspective on your project. They might be working on another part of the code base, but if you get to know them and talk to them about it, they could show you why like they connect somewhere in the code. Besides that, they can also give you their perspective on their career, how to be successful as an intern, and they can also help you when your mentor's like not there. So having more points of contact means that when someone's not there, like they're at a meeting or something, you don't have to wait for them. You can just talk to the person next to you. So we talked about actively communicating with your mentor and manager, and also talking and getting to know other people on your team. And the next thing I want to talk about is you should really take advantage of getting to know the other interns. I've said this before, but some of my best friends that I have right now, I've met on my internships, and there are other interns at like Yelp and Google and Hulu. These people are very like-minded, very driven. If you go to the top companies, you're going to be interning with the top interns, right? And most of the time, these interns aren't going to be from the area. So it's really nice when you can explore the company and get lunch with interns, and also explore the area over the weekends with other interns. Something I forgot to mention in the other video is that if you don't drive, some of the other interns might drive. So we had a few interns that drove us at Microsoft. Pretty nice, you know. Try not to take advantage of them, and treat them to dinner sometime. Anyway, so besides interns, you should even try to get to know just like other people in the company. So then at Google, I actually tried this thing where I was like, dang, I don't want to waste my Google experience, right? I want to try to talk to a new Googler every day, you know, and then write that in my internship journal as well. Like, oh, today I met so-and-so, blah, blah. Honestly, it was like kind of hard, but I think I did it for like 2 weeks, and it did meet some like really interesting people, and you get to hear like their story, how they got to Google, and also like the projects they're working on. Especially at Google, the company is so big that there are just so many products, and sometimes someone can give you an insight on a product that you thought was like meh. But yeah, if this is what you want to do, it's like actually pretty easy. You just say, excuse me, hi, excuse me, I just started interning a few weeks ago, and I just thought that it'd be really cool if I could get to know some of the people working here full-time, and just hear your perspectives and like hear your story. And normally people are very happy to talk about themselves. So maybe everyone's just like a narcissist deep down. Okay, so that's sort of the people, social side of internships. You definitely want to like get your networking in. You definitely want to actively communicate. And if you just do these things, it's hard to like not do well on your internship, you know. The final part I want to talk about is the mindset and mentality, again, of like being a good intern. I know I talk about mindset and mentality a lot, and I guess it's just because it really interests me. I really like to do things efficiently, and I feel like the first step of doing something efficiently is approaching it with the right mindset. Otherwise, you're like just like tricking yourself, and after a while, your actions will become incongruent with your goals. So yeah. I'm going to film the next video. It's going to be part 3, mindsets and mentalities, again, of being a good intern.